Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope that you all are taking good care of yourself at home. In today's English work of grade 2, we shall be doing a comprehension. But before we start our today's comprehension, let us first revise what is the meaning of comprehension. Well, students, as you know, comprehension means to understand. Comprehension means to understand. What do you want to understand? The passage or the story. You see, whenever we are doing a comprehension, we are given a story or a passage to read. And then we answer the questions that are given. Through those questions, we are able to understand that whether you have got the meaning of the passage or not. So, in order to make us realize that whether you have understood what you are reading or not, it is necessary to do a comprehension. So, when you do a comprehension, you are able to comprehend the story's events through answering the questions. Comprehension develops your reading skills and it helps you to ask and answer the questions about the texts and developing your ability to summarize the topic. First of all, let us revise the rules of comprehension, or you can say how to attempt a comprehension. First of all, the passage that has been given to you, you have to read it at least 3 times. How many times? 3 times you have to read the passage. While you are reading that passage, you have to underline the difficult words and you have to understand their meanings. You can look in the dictionary to find out their meanings. Then you have to understand them. When you have done this, you have to read the questions that have been given to you in the comprehension. When you have read the questions, you have to read the passage again. And while you are reading the passage, you have to look for the answers of the questions that you have just read. When you have done all these points, then you have to attempt the answers. And students, it is very important that you write the answers in your own words. You cannot just copy the answers from the passage. Instead, you have to write them in your own words. Okay, students? Now, as we have revised the rules of comprehension, let us now see the topic of our today's comprehension. Wow! Can you see what this is? This is an alligator. And our topic of today's comprehension is the amazing alligator. Can someone tell me what is an alligator? Think. Well, students, let me revise. An alligator is a reptile. It is an animal that lives both in water and on land. As you can see, its body is full of scales. Let us look at now the passage that has been given to describe the alligator. So students, this is your today's passage, or you can say the paragraph that has been given to you. You have to read this passage and then you have to answer the questions. What is the first rule? Read the paragraph 3 times. Now students, I am going to read this passage first, once, and then you are going to read it 3 times on your own. So let's start. The amazing alligator. Alligators are found in North America. They are the largest reptiles found on the continent. An alligator has broad head and a long scaly body. The word broad means wide. The head of the alligator is very long. The alligator relies on its long, powerful tail to move itself through the water. Alligators can move very fast in the water, but they move slowly on land. Scientists believe that there are over 5 million alligators in the United States. Over 1 million of them live in the state of Florida. They live in fresh water. They live in areas like ponds, lakes, and swamps. Did you know that alligators don't have any vocal cords? They can make loud roaring sounds to keep the predators away. They prey on fish, turtles, birds, and other reptiles. Alligators are amazing animals. Now, students, for your convenience, I have read this passage once. Now, while you are doing the comprehension, you need to read it 3 times. And then you have to follow the rule that is on number 2, that you have to underline all the difficult words. And then you have to look for their meanings. Now, can you find any difficult word here? This comprehension is very easy. But some new words that are in this comprehension are, for example, continent, scientists, roaring, swamps, predators, prey. So these are some of the difficult words which I have shown you. You can find other difficult words also that you think are difficult. And then you have to underline them and you have to find out their meanings. Once you have done it, you have to move on to the next part, that is to read the questions. And these are your questions. Question number 1 is, what do alligators look like? Students, when you have done reading the questions, you have to read the paragraph again to find the answers. So let's first read all the questions. Question number 2, how does the alligator move in water? Question number 3, where do alligators live? Question number 4, pick out 4 prepositions. Question number 5, to what class of animals do they belong? Mammals, reptiles, fish, or amphibians? Now students, for you to answer these questions, you need to read the passage again. Now I am not going to read the passage. It is your turn to read the passage again so that you can find out the answers, and when you are doing the worksheet on your notebooks, you can write them over there. Now I am sure you know how to attempt comprehension by now. So let us move on to the answers. The question number 1 was, what do alligators look like? I am sure you know the answer. Let's see. An alligator has a broad head, long, scaly body, and a powerful tail. Now you see students, in this answer I have not copied the answer exactly from the comprehension. Instead, I have written this in my own words, which is very important and which is the last rule of doing your comprehension. Question number 2. How does the alligator move in water? The alligators use their tail to move in water. Question number 3. Where do alligators live? Alligators live in fresh water. Pick out 4 prepositions. Now, do you remember what are prepositions? In, on, under, above. These are the prepositions that are found in this passage. What is the definition of prepositions? Prepositions are those words that describe the place of action, the place where the action is being done. Okay, so you need to find out 4 prepositions. Here are some prepositions that I have found from this passage. Question number 5 is, to what class of animals do they belong? Whether they are mammals, reptiles, fish, or amphibians. The alligators are reptiles. So, students, I have solved the answers for you, but I would like to remind you that it is not important that you write these answers. Instead, I would encourage you to write some different answers in your own words. The answers should be according to the question and the passage, but you can write something else. For example, in question number 3, as you can see, where do alligators live? I have written alligators live in fresh water. Instead, you should remember that in the passage it was given alligators live in fresh waters, rivers, ponds, lakes, and swamps. You can write any of those things or you can write all of those things. This is what I mean by you can write the answers differently in your own words. I'm sure, students, now you know how to attempt this comprehension and now you can do it very easily on your notebooks. So, students, best of luck for your comprehension and take care. Allah Hafiz.